Well, guys, this is just an update on some of my top coins. Let's take a look and see how they've been doing. The past few days, it's been some negative price action in a lot of them for sure. A little bit of a pullback, especially the lower cap memes. Had a few different light news stories that maybe impacted Bitcoin. BlackRock selling a bit of Bitcoin. It's a temporary thing, certainly, potentially just to rearrange their portfolio and their spending. Bitcoin most certainly will, I think, at least go to 170, 180K, and we will still have a major bull run. But some of these coins going down, it is tough because of where Ethereum is. Ethereum is almost at this point at all-time highs. But also, we have to understand with Ethereum in comparison to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has made like 15 new all-time highs this cycle. Ethereum is coming up on its, the new all-time high since 2021, its first new all-time high. So the context of it is we really haven't even had the full alt pump. We haven't even had 15% of it. Maybe when you look at Ethereum, and people say, well, Ethereum's not as good, but there's going to be a huge Ethereum pump. There's a ton of money being invested into Ethereum. So we'll take a look at some of my top coins. This is a trade for me, or at least I'm treating it as a trade. This is Dr. Mutant. So this is a Matt Fury, full page AI artwork coin that's branched off of the artwork. And the coin has done very well. It really has. We'll see what it ends up doing. I mean, who knows? But I was doubting it there for a little bit, and it kind of chopped around 250, 300K. It had a crazy wick to around 2.4 million, and we'll see if it's able to sustain. This is only a 15-minute chart. I mean, you do an hour chart. We'll see if it maintains a $1 million market cap. We've seen some of the other Matt Fury full page artwork memes. If they've got decent teams behind them, the coins can run to 4 or 5 million. So who knows with these coins? I mean, when the Matt Fury coins right now are hot. So that's the context that needs to be added into why we're trading the Fury coins. The question is, what happens when the narrative fades a little bit? And when is it time to get out before the narrative fades? I know some people, they hold them long term, but with the Fury coins, it's probably just trades for me. And we'll see what this is really the only thing that's done well for me the past few weeks, I would say. Taking a look at some of my favorite coins. So this is NASDAQ 420. So NASDAQ, we know, had its a nice run up to around 10, 11 million. Was not able to maintain that price and has since retraced back to around $4 million. Just taking a look at it and comparing to its initial run all the way back like 7 or 8 months ago, it did not reach a new all-time high. I would say, if you want to compare the price action, I do think if you compare its early run, it's a little bit higher than that, and hopefully it can find maybe a new floor that's a little bit higher than the previous floor, which was around 1.5 to 2 million. We would really want to avoid a retracement all the way back down that low, although technical analysis on coins this low in market cap is kind of meaningless just because the coin could very easily do a 50 or a 60x. The only problem that we would have with NASDAQ 420 with it being around $4 million right now is we would want it. And some of this is SPX. I mean, SPX is retraced from 2 billion to 1.2 billion. So the narrative coins are going to go down. The only issue is, well, if we get into a really bullish period and NASDAQ is still only at even 10, 15 million, we want it to be in a position to where it can really boom and catch some huge X's rather than, just a kiddie pump to 20 or 30 million. Because I think inevitably it's going to pump. NASDAQ for sure will pump. The question is, how high will it go? And I mean, I think it's going to be a major narrative coin on Ethereum as the ultimate beta to SPX. But I mean, you could argue SPX really hasn't even started its run. Then you could also argue money will filter out of SPX into some of the betas within the narrative. And so maybe that'll be, one of those you would imagine based on how it's positioned would be NASDAQ 420. But it has seen a retracement from around 11, 12 million back down to around 4 million, with it falling, I mean, pretty consistently the past 2 weeks. Taking a look at 4chan. 4chan is still maintaining. It did have a little down wick earlier today, but still very, very good looking chart. Hopefully it's able to maintain around 10 million. We just need to just maintain around 10 million with 4chan. Let it recoup around 10 million. That's a 1 hour chart. See, you go to the 4 hour, it looks a little bit more flimsy when it comes to like any type of new floor, established floor. I mean, what has it been like 4 days? It's been hovering around 10.5 million. I think 4chan is a very, very good narrative play. For me, it's like NASDAQ 420, 4chan, DXY. I'd say those are my top 3 right now. But 4chan, Man, we just need like a 5x. We get a 5x within the next like 4 or 5 weeks. Imagine we get this coin's at like 50 million going into October. Oh, this coin, if it's at 50 million going into October with Ethereum at like 6 or 7,000, then this coin could very easily go to like a billion, I would say, with 4chan. But I would love for it to hold the support. I mean, whether it's 9 million, 10 million, whatever, we just don't want like a 70 or 80% retracement from here. So, I mean, it's done a great job holding support after its run. I mean, it did like a 7 or 8x within the span of about 2 weeks. I mean, it was consistent, buying that we saw for like 2 straight weeks, 2.5 straight weeks with 4chan. Now we're seeing some choppiness. And we did see a wick that was eaten up. Again, technical analysis on this, it's a low cap meme coin. We've got based SPX. It's around 600K. It's fallen off a little bit. I mean, it is, a beta to SPX. And so, I don't know, man. I think this coin will do well still. I really do. The team is building, and it's just one of those things to where, well, if SPX is down significantly within the past 2 weeks, the based variant is probably going to be as well. And I understand, when SPX pumps, we would love to see the based SPX pump as well, although that doesn't always happen. But 588. You could say, well, a good entry, but I would wait. I would not try and catch a falling knife. Wait for there to be some support, because this thing could go to around 500, 400K. You get a better entry. Entries are everything in this for sure. SPX 2.0. So this coin, it did complete its W, and it's potentially falling again. So, although there may be a little bit more of a resistance, support there than there was previously in the last 2 run-ups, but sitting around a million. Yeah, I think there's a bit of manipulation going on with this project in regards to some of the SPX whales. The issue that we're facing right now is the market cap is only 980K. I wonder if that person, yeah, you look at this person, is this serious? Wow. Well, they've bought up 8% of the supply. There's rumors, the things that I've seen with his account, I've heard they're either a trader or the thought is sabotage, unfortunately. There's no, if you're a whale and you believe in a project, you're not buying up 8% of the supply in a single wallet. You would actually buy a wallet, or you would buy, if you wanted to buy like 8 to 10% of the supply of a coin, you would do it through like 4 or 5 different wallets, all funneled to where the bubble maps wouldn't even show up the wallets being connected. So they would all be funded differently. This wallet having 8% of the supply is a very, very bad sign. So, I mean, we'll see what it ends up doing, but you're not going to, people look at the holders. That's what they look at. They even look at that, I think, because it's easier to look at than bubble maps, but 8% of the supply, unless it's like, sent to Vitalik, which you can explain away, or it's like a known whale that's buying it because they believe in the project. It's a bit of, it's an issue, but I've heard this person's a trader, which, I mean, well, the other thing is you think, well, if it's sabotage, this is something that happened to the Ethereum Fartcoin. Fartcoin on Ethereum, it was an interesting project. They were like gonna incorporate like planting a bunch of trees and stuff. There was, we would imagine, a Solana Fartcoin whale that bought up legitimately like 55% of the supply. And I believe if you look at that coin, just because I used to be in this coin and people were shocked at like, what is this whale going to do? This coin's at 190K. Just look at this coin. Now, I don't know if that, this is a lot lower in market cap, so it's easier to buy some of the supply. They own 53% of the supply. So that nukes the coin. The project has no chance of doing anything if it's an unknown whale that controls 53% of the supply. This is a whale probably from the Solana Fartcoin, because although I don't know, would you really spend that much money into it? It's so weird. You're going to invest almost 6 figures into keeping it down. I mean, how much Fartcoin on Solana do you have to own to do that? I mean, this coin, it felt like this coin was getting built up too. This Ethereum Fartcoin. It seemed like they had a team that was, they had invested money into it. But I think that's the concern with this 2.0 is just the 8%. I mean, it's not normal to see someone buy up 8% of the supply in the span of like 2 weeks without having a strategic plan in which you're doing it. I mean, you've got a value. I mean, what did they invest 80 or 90K into doing this? I don't know. I mean, if it is a trader, well, that's a problem as well. Because I heard it was a trader. So, I don't know. But, it is what it is. Moving on to DXY. So, DXY trending down 24%. Maybe a buying zone. Potential buying zone. Maybe it goes a little bit lower. But DXY, I think, probably one of the best. This and the 4chan chart are the 2 best charts I've looked at out of these coins for sure. DXY, very, very good team. I wonder what the liquidity comparison, 281 for one for 2. Well, 4chan's got amazing liquidity, 1.5, 352 to for 4, 352, 281. Yeah, I've always thought NASDAQ has had less liquidity. But DXY, I mean, it's got a very nice chart. And this is a down wick, so maybe it is a buying zone right now. I mean, you buy, what is that? $2,100 for a million? Yeah, so it'd be $2,100 for a million is what it is basically right now. Because of slippage and the way DEXs work, it's a little bit more. But yeah, I think DXY is very good. You're catching it a little bit of a downtrend. I remember doing a video where the coin was at a downtrend. It was like 1.55. I mean, these are good buying areas, not financial advice for DXY. And then you've got the retirement token. So the retirement token is and it's on a downward trend. There's no doubt about it. 250K. There's just no, with these Solana coins, there's, you'd hope maybe the bottom is 240, 250. I don't know, man. I mean, the problem with this coin is it seems like it has turned into more of a news coin, because there was the news on the what was it, 401k, the crypto 401k being created, and since then it hasn't been able to maintain a higher cap. But I'm still in this coin. We'll see what it does. I like its ticker a lot, and I'm not someone that really sells a ton. I mean, I have certain coins that I'll trade, but I've learned in crypto, you just got to believe in coins. Whatever your coin is, believe in them. Have depends how big your portfolio is, depends how much money you have, but 5 or 6 coins, maybe 7 coins, that's probably good. But the thing with my portfolio is a lot of my coins are in the same narrative. So, but either way, guys, with this coin, we'll see. I mean, it's gonna have to break this downtrend. This pump was based off of news. That's it. It was based off an executive order being signed. So it's kind of the pump doesn't even. It's a fake pump, anyways. It still has this big downtrend. But I know that they're still working. They're still trying to. Pump the price. And there's a team, and it's not a very active community. But I know there's still some people there trying to. So I would say with these coins, I mean, these are probably good buying ranges right now. Decent buying range for NASDAQ. Maybe seeing some support now, back up around 4, went down to like 3.5, back up to 4 million. 4chan, I mean, obviously the coins had not a massive pump. It's had like an 8x pump. But 4chan's looking very, very well. DXY's looking very, very well. Based SPX, maybe wait for some type of support before buying. I would wait for some support. And SPX 2.0, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough, because when you've got 8% of the supply controlled by an unknown wallet, people that turns people away from buying the project. They look at that, they see I mean, 8% is not terrible for a coin that has a low market cap, but it's very rudimentary to split up the supply. So to see them not do that, it's a little bit concerning. DXY, very, very good chart. Very, very nice. And then the Dr. Mutant, let's take a look and see how that's done. At around 1.1. Yeah, this is like the best one. I mean, my goodness. Everything else is down but this one. And it did wick crazy to around 2.4. People really sold it when it wicked up there. I didn't even catch it up there, but I mean, when it gets to 2.4, I'm thinking about maybe taking some profits, let's be honest, if it's a trade. But I couldn't catch it. So we'll see what this one ends up doing. And then I'm also in Electrogal. That's another trade. So Electrogal, it was around 300K. Now it's down to 131. Yeah, I mean, this is a Fury coin. It's not a main character. It's Fury artwork, though. I think it's the way it's marketed. I think they do a very good job with this. And I know some people have been recommending it, and I'm still in it. Look at this. It's in my video. But, we'll see what they end up doing with it. I don't know. I'm staying in it. I'm hopefully, it seems like it can't cross around 500K. It's been rejected 3 different times, but it definitely seems like there's more higher level people in it now. And so maybe it'll do well. Maybe it'll run to around, I mean, 1 million, 2 million. Who knows with these coins? I mean, but this is the narrative. You'd think the coin would be running right now if it's the actual narrative for the coin, because all the Fury coins have ran up and done well. But this one's a little bit of a kind of a side character, if you will, I guess, because it's not a main page character. So We'll have to see. But either way, guys, make sure you like the video down below. That's going to do it for this one.